So, since the pandemic started, we have been here with you and for you. We just can't be in person yet because, as you guys know, the zip code of this area, 53215, is still the number one area of positive cases for COVID. So that's followed by 53204. And that's all our territory. So we do not want to put anything at risk. We can't be with you just yet, but you can always call us. Our same number is always 414-672-8090. And then, of course, an email, sock@sockmilwaukee.org. And then, of course, our website where we are keeping up with updates, information, and different ways that you guys can take action regarding COVID. Complete page dedicated to all of that. Also, I want to ask if you're with us today and you have appreciated any of the information that we've given or any of our guests or any of our resources, please take a moment to fill out our survey. You can find the link in the comments. There's only 2 or 3 very simple questions. It really helps us. You can also share your opinion. Lots of the changes that we've made have been because you guys have told us. And of course, the folks that are helping us financially want to know what's going on. And that way, through the survey, we can show that you guys are part of everything that's happening here. So you're seeing me today without a mask, and like you'll see the rest of us, because like I said, we are not working in person yet. Most of us are at home working. Me, I'm here in my fireplace room. So we are keeping up with all of the requirements that have been put out to keep the community safe. Now, when you guys are here with us, we can see how many people are with us, but we can't see who is with us. So say hi, in the comments, just to see who is with us. Like always, like we always share with you, we are an organization, nonprofit, of course, and we can talk about some things and other things we can't. Hi, Diana. So, a legal notice. The opinions and points of view shared here are not necessarily those of SOC, just so that everybody knows and they can speak freely here. So, we have 2 guests today, and we're going to get started with the first one that's with us. Actually, let me share something with who's going to be with us. Tomorrow, Liana Yang, Director of Education from HAWA. Friday, we're going to have Judge Pedro Colon with us. He'll be finishing up the Hispanic Heritage Month. He was the first Latino that we elected into office. So we're going to talk to him about his experience. He's a judge, so we're going to hear all about that. So today we have a special invite. We're talking with a specialist of public affairs from the Social Security's office. And we're going to hear some very important information that we all need to know. So let's bring on Elida. Thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you guys today. My name is Elida, and I work for the Social Security office in downtown Milwaukee. And today I'm just bringing you super important information about the calls, like the scam calls that we're seeing in Milwaukee right now. So scam calls, it's nothing new. For lots of time, we've known that there are people calling people saying that they're calling from the Social Security Department, and they try to get their private information. So that way they can get, information and use it for other things that they shouldn't be doing. But now what we're seeing is that recently, in the last few weeks, we've received a lot of calls from people that say they've received calls in Spanish. So now that's why we're here. We want to let you guys know what is a scam call, how to identify it, and what to do to prevent that you could be a victim from one of these calls. So the most important is to know is when it's a scam call, because knowing that, then you avoid falling into that trap. So what happens is they call any number. They won't say your first name usually, and they'll find numbers that they can find just about anywhere. They can call you on your cell phone. They can call your house phone. Regularly, they'll say something like, I'm calling from the Social Security office, and we're going to cancel your Social Security number because we found fraudulent activities with your number. So if you know that you don't have anything like that going on, you can think, okay, maybe somebody's using my number. So then they ask to verify your information to be able to fix the problem. That's where they ask for your name, your social number, your social security number, all that private information that you shouldn't be giving out on the phone. But they convince you, and that's when you give them the information. So once they have that information, they can do all kinds of things. They can have access or open bank accounts, credit cards. They can open utility bills in your name or car loans. There's lots of different things that they can do. Social Security office is never going to call your house. They're never going to threaten you. A lot of these calls are also saying, we are a federal agency, or we're calling from the police, or we have an arrest order for you because there's fraudulent activity going on. Social Security is never going to call you and tell you that. They're never going to threaten you. So if you get a call like that, hang up right away. Social Security is never going to call you and ask those questions. Now, if you have a case that's open, Social Security could call and ask you some questions. But if you think that the call might not be coming from us, we're not going to get offended if you ask us, I need to verify. I'll call you back. That's not going to offend us. But if you tell us to give information, then they're going to hang up. They want your information. So they'll just hang up and go on to the next person. So another form to kind of break up a scam is to be informed. That's why we want to tell you if this is happening. And we know that it's happening because we have gotten calls after they've given the information. Then they'll call us and they'll say, oh, I already gave my information. Well, they already gave their information. What else can we do? We do ask you to make a report to the office of the general inspector, because doing those reports, we can see the new ways that people are trying to get information. So that way we'll have a record. What are they saying? What are they asking? One of the things that we do know is that lots of these calls will come in with a 414 or a 262 area code. And a lot of these calls on the caller ID say Social Security office. It's very common. So people see that and they think that it's coming from a Social Security office. So that's just one of the things that we want to tell you guys. You have to be really alert. Don't give out your information. Don't go buying gift cards and then they'll be asking for the numbers on the back. They'll ask you to send cash. They'll ask you for a prepaid card. There's lots of different ways. It's not just robbing your identity, but they'll also make you buy different cards, giving different information. If you owe us something, we will send you a letter. We will give you options. Almost always, we're going to give options to make a payment plan. We're never going to call and threaten you and say you owe us money. If you have any questions, just call us and we can verify. And so that's a little bit of information about the calls that we've been giving. Let your friends know, let your families know, let your neighbors know, because more people that know about these fraudulent calls, less victims we're going to have. It's something that not a lot of people know. And then when you've given your information, it's too late. So let's give participants from today, where can they call? Let's say hi to Maricano. She's with us. And Dulce Martinez is also with us. She's asking, what's the phone number? Where can I report? You can report to the Social Security office directly. The phone number is the one that's in downtown Milwaukee. Is 866-467-9626. You can also make a report on our internet page. It's socialsecurity.gov. And Elida, you said that that you guys are never going to call asking for information, like like the people that are committing fraud. You guys aren't going to call us and ask us, what is your name? What is your social security number? What is your date of birth? They're not going to ask you that, right? No. When you call, we ask you 6 questions. Your name, your social security number, your date of birth, your place of birth, your maiden last name, and your address. If you can't tell us those 6 questions, we're not going to give you any information. But if you've already given your information, they will be able to answer those questions. They'll be able to make changes. They can change your direct deposit. That's what we want to avoid. So it looks like the easiest way that we can know if we're speaking with somebody from Social Security is to call them back to the office to verify. And that's the number that you gave us, right? Yes. Is there a cost for Social Security's office? No, there's no cost to do anything. Not for a new card, nothing like that. There's no cost. No, we don't charge for anything like that. We're never gonna call and ask you for money. We're never gonna say that you have a fine. And obviously there's bilingual services, Spanish and other languages. Yes, all of the offices have people that speak Spanish and other languages. There's a phone line where we can call for an interpreter for lots of different languages. Okay, you guys know, not just in Spanish, in other languages too. So if somebody wants to communicate with you, where can we find you? My direct number is 866 504 5014. It's extension 523. And your email? My email is elida.elisordo@ssa.gov. All right there on the screen for you. Also, we're going to share a little more information today that there's going to be a cost of living increase. Tell us more about that. So they just announced the increase of cost of living, 1.3% increase. So that's for 2021. So your supplementary check that was $783, now it's going to be up to $794 for individuals. For a couple, before it was $1,075. Now it's going to be $1,091. That's going to start in January of 2021. So the check that you're going to get on December 31st will have that increase on it. Also, your retirement funds or your disability funds that come on January 3rd will have that increase on them. So it's a cost of living increase. And people don't need to do anything to be able to accept it. It's automatically. You will also get a letter, and it's an opportunity to say one of the ways that you know exactly how much your new quantity will be, because people that receive retirement and disability, they don't always receive the same amount. So the increase will be a little bit. I mean, it's a 1.3%, but the quantity will be different. So if you don't have an account, you'll want to open one up with the Social Security. And then you'll see everything there about what you're going to receive in January. Let's explain a little bit to folks, what is the cost of living? Cost of living is the increase that they give out every year. It's an increase that I'm not sure how to explain it. It comes, I think, because of what I read was like the general interest of the nation. And then when that goes up, all the prices go up for lots of basic things. And so they adjust the amount that you're receiving so that people that are receiving those benefits can continue meeting all of their debts and all of the things that they need to pay. That's what I read a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Any other announcement, Elida, that you want to share with us? Yes, we do have another announcement. The offices are still closed. But all personnel is working just like you guys from home. So we do have people that are answering the phone. Everybody is available 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. You can call the number that I gave you. You can call the natural numbers. It's 1-800-772-1213. And we are here to help you. There's lots of things that you can still do over the phone. We can take applications for disabilities, for retirements. We can do appeals. All of that can be done over the phone. There are very few things that we can't do. So we do have a limited number of visits that we can do, but that's why you should call. And we can make an appointment so that you can come in person. To the national number or the local number? To the local number, because those appointments are going to be here locally. Every office makes their own appointments at different schedules. So we have to limit how many people we have in our office at any time. So every office has their own appointments. The majority of things can be done on the website or calling us on the phone. We can make appointments. We can make appeals. We can answer your questions. We are not closed. We're just not physically in the office. What number do they call again? What is it? 866 467 9626. We had a big discussion with the Social Security office. I'm sure you've heard about that because they closed the only South Side location. Where is the next closest office so that people can go if they that have bilingual people? All offices have bilingual people, all of them. There are some that have more than others, but in the downtown, there's at least 4 people that speak Spanish. And if you find yourself with somebody that doesn't speak Spanish, we can use the bilingual line to be able to bring on somebody to interpret so that we can understand and do what we need to do, whether it's an interview or whatever they need to do so that they understand. So if we don't go to downtown, what's the other office that's close by? The next one is in Greenfield, 83rd and Layton. That office also has bilingual people, employees, and then they're also available for any business that you might have. So any news if they're going to open an office on the south side? I don't have any information, no. Well, thank you very much. We've heard a lot about the fraud that's happening with different people that are calling and letting us know. So being, the people that are making false claims. So let us know. You need to, like Elida said, you need to confirm. And the way that you can confirm is hang up and call the office and make sure that it's a valid call. And remember, they're never going to call you and threaten you. They're never going to try and charge you. They're never going to ask you for a gift card. So hang up and call the office. And if you're getting benefits, you are going to get a increase in cost of living. I know that's very necessary too. Thank you so much for being with us, Elida. Thank you for the invitation. Bye-bye. Take care. Super important, the information that we got from her. And hopefully we're going to have an office again close by. I know we're still fighting for it. You guys heard me say our zone is our postal code 53215 and 53204 is right up there with positive cases of COVID. So we're going to hear an update about coronavirus thanks to Marlene Zaran, our coronavirus coordinator. A message from the 16th Street Clinic. Good morning. Dr. Jorge Ramayo from the 16th Street Clinic. I'm a pediatrician and internal medicine doctor, and today I want to talk to you about social distancing. So, that concept is how we can help so that this virus, the coronavirus, does not spread through our community. So, there's two things that we have to consider. First, social distancing refers to preventing that people get infected or that they're getting contagious to healthy people. If you think about that in two different categories, general public category and then an individual category. Generally, the public, as you've seen for the orders from the governor, pretty much is just trying to prevent large groups, large gatherings, more than 10 people, I believe. And that's where you transmit those viruses. That includes festivals, restaurants, where there's conventions, lots of people where they could be spreading the virus. So it is very important to cancel all of those events and meetings so that we're not spreading it. Another thing that we need to know about social distancing is how to keep ourselves safe and prevent that we get infected. That includes stay home as much as you can. That really means stay home if you can, and if you don't live there, try to avoid all visits. Because even if it is families or good close friends, we don't know where they've been, what kind of exposure they've had, and we need to prevent them bringing something into our home. And of course, that increases the risk of somebody getting sick. The next one is limiting how many times we're going out. If you can avoid that going out to buy at the grocery store, maybe send just one person and wash your hands before and after going out. Also, washing hands, still super important before coming into the house, before leaving the house, before eating, and before you have contact with anybody that has a higher risk, like a diabetic, older person. Super important. Remember all of that. Finally, this is a very difficult for us because it's a huge sacrifice, but we have seen in the scientific reports that these efforts are what helps keep our community safe and healthy, and it helps to contain the virus. That way you're not in the hospital, you're not sick, and we don't have any more tragedies, which is, not having enough ventilators or ICU beds. So please do your part and keep up practicing the social distancing. Remember, all the things you can always communicate with your family over the phone and different things that you can do to not feel so alone. It's just important that physical contact is limited. Any questions, call the clinic. We're always here for you guys. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, call our clinic in Milwaukee, 414-672-1353. Thank you, doctor, for reminding us to follow all of that so we can get out of this pandemic and be able to take care of our friends, family. Like he said, it really is a sacrifice to not be able to hug the people that we love, but in the long run, if we want to have our community healthy, it's worth it. So thank you, doctor, again, and 16th Street Clinic. And I know that they're working in collaboration with us. Hello, Maria. She says great information. Yes, it is. Now, I want to invite Maria Rodriguez from the Census office because we got some news, not very great today, and we want her to speak with us. So today we have Maria Rodriguez. Hello, you hear me okay? Yes, so great to have you because we got some bad news and now we're confused, more stress, especially about the final dates. Talk to us, Maria. What's happening? Yeah, we were also very surprised. Yesterday, we got an email saying you only have until tomorrow, the 15th, when they had said we had until the end of the month to keep counting people. So we were all like, what happened? So I was looking at the statistics and the numbers. Supposedly, what it's saying at the central office is that 99% have been counted, but that's at a national level, not at a state level or at the city level of Milwaukee. So, seeing the numbers in Wisconsin, we have 72.1%. We're missing 28% to count at a state level. At the city level, we are missing a lot more. We're only at 61.3%. That's a very low number. So we only have today and tomorrow. Very little time, very limited time. We were very surprised. We had no idea that it was just going to be over just like that. So the people that need to get out, I know that they're scared or they say they don't want to know anything about it. We know that lots of people just say, I don't want to do it. People that have kids, it's for their schools, it's for their medical care, it's for the entire communities, young people and old people. And so we need to get counted. We are running out of time. Yeah, we were really surprised. There was so much back and forth with, the final dates and so now we're up in the last 24 hours to be able to be counted for the census. And the implications last for a decade, for 10 years. Yep, the next 10 years. Because sometimes people will say, if there's 10 people in your family, imagine, we're talking about thousands of dollars that's affected for 10 years. Not even 10 minutes to take the census, and it affects the next 10 years. The other reason, maybe you can't say, I can say it though, is that all of this movement, all of this action is to not be counted because there are consequences. The ones that are getting affected the most are us in the community. I remember 99.9% of people were counted. That doesn't make sense. Mathematically, that doesn't make any sense. What we can say, we know, obviously, that on the south side, our district, those numbers are even less. And we know that they're going to be affected even more. So We need to beg you guys to fill this out. Now let's remind people. Once we had shared that at a federal laws, one of the highest courts, 2 times they denied the request to share information from the census to the government, to the president and to the government. 2 times in the history they tried and they couldn't do it. Once it was because of Homeland Security, when there was that law about terrorists and they didn't follow it. The next one, I don't remember what it was from. Do you remember? No, I don't. But at the end of the day, they went to the highest court and they did not let them use the information from the census. So you can feel safe. You know that it's not going to get shared. So, Maria, let's tell people that are listening how can you still do the census? There's different ways. Yeah, there's different ways that you can do it. One is to send the paper in. So now it has to be in the mail by tomorrow. If it's not in the mail by tomorrow, it's not going to be counted. Another option is on the phone or online. That's the fastest. There are times that people get confused about certain questions. Your origin, are you Mexican, are you Hispanic? And then if you're from a different country, from Latin America, then you put that down. After that, it asks your race. Lots of times Hispanics get confused and then they put white. You can put where you're from. If you're from Nicaragua, Salvador, and then you just go on to the next questions. And sometimes people get confused on those questions. It's not that difficult. The internet is faster. And then when we know if you're from a certain country, you just keep going it, and you could do it within less than 5 minutes. It's just trying to help the community. And for our folks that don't want to register as like a white or a black, is there an area that says other? That's where I personally put other, because I'm mixed. That's I as a Puerto Rican. So don't get confused or tied up with that. So you can do it online. You can do it by the phone. You can do it in your language. And you can do it by mail still, if the post date is by tomorrow. And there has been so much drama. It could be maybe by tomorrow they change it, but we can't wait for that. We have to take it seriously because we have very little time left to be counted. Another thing that was commented was about privacy. We, as employees, and I have told you before, we have to take a oath to not share information with anybody. And somebody said, oh, that's only for like 65 years. No, that's for life. We can't give out any information. There are some people that say, it's not that I don't want to give my information. Well, okay, if you don't want to give, for example, your date of birth, then just give your age. And, we know your age and we don't have to ask for your date of birth. If maybe I have somebody living with me and it's just a friend. I don't know their date of birth. Okay, just put their age. And that helps a little bit with your identity. That way you just put their age instead of their date of birth on the form. Very good. Maria, hopefully everybody will participate in this little time that we have left until tomorrow. Yep, we're still going to be out tomorrow. I'm going to be at Array on 13th and Burnham. I will be there from 10 in the morning until, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon. If somebody wants to come, we are happy to help. We have another person at the El Rey on 35th Street. I'm not sure about Cesar Chavez Drive. I'm not sure if they're going to give us permission to be there every day. Yeah, I know the family Villarreal is trying to help. We've been there 7 days a week, so there's no excuse. We do have a question. Maria Poradek says, oh, it's so sad that it got cut off so quickly. Yeah, what was it gonna hurt having it open until the end of the month? Oh, I don't know. There's a fight for everything, right? Maria, thank you so much, and thank you for being with us. Take care. Thank you for the invitation. Of course. So, the update, Cervic update, I passed it. Sorry, Marisol. We're going to share this video that we have about registration for voting. Hello, hello. The U.S. Postal Service has more than a decade of experience, and they're ready for the day of elections. Imagine if everybody voted by mail, it wouldn't compare with the volume that they take on every year. More information is available at vote411.org and in Spanish /ES. Thank you so much for that reminder. Lots of updates and super important dates. So now let's keep going, and hopefully we have our next guest, Pedro Hernandez from the Legal Aid Society, and we're going to be talking about some very important stuff. We're going to see helping you guys to know what is happening with evictions, and then also with rental assistance and any other announcement that he might have for us. Pedro, hello, hello. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Good. I'm super grateful that you are here with us. I know you have a very busy special schedule. No worries. We have been seeing in the announcements about evictions. I even had a call today from a family that was getting evicted. And so I transferred that call to Clarissa, who was going to help them to get the information that they need. So, Pedro, tell us what's happening and what do you know about the other assistance available? Well, after the ordinance was published, the number of evictions has decreased weekly. In the beginning, there was a drastic change, like 400 evictions per week, or cases of evictions per week, down to like 50, 60, but now it's going up again. Last week, it went up to 98, and this week, right now, today, we're at 49. So the number's going up again. We have seen that lawyers for the owners or owners of, the companies that are administrating, big properties, they're getting a little frustrated because of the order, and they're trying to look for ways to avoid the order. Because that order, like I had talked about last week, suspends all evictions because people can't pay the rent. But one of the conditions is that the tenants or their families have to fill out a declaration under a legal oath that they've tried to pay something for the rent, that they have applied for assistance, things like that. And unfortunately, even though they, did all that, they still can't pay. And they have to turn that declaration in to the owner of the property. So there are some that are saying that they've never received it and there's no proof that they did receive it. So that's why we always tell you to speak with a lawyer first, especially like one of us in legal aid. Or if you turn in a declaration, do it by a certified registered mail. That can be done from any postal office, and just ask them to send it registered and certified. That way you will have proof that shows, you can show your judge that you did send it to the owner. And that declaration, can you email it to the owner or no? Yeah, you can do that too. There's no reason that you can't. Just talking about proof, it's good to have a proof that they received it. It's better. Because court is used to see receipts from certified mail. They're used to seeing that. That's what the owners use when they're trying to evict the people, if it's a legal thing. Email is okay, but you need to be able to prove through court that that is used by the owner, that they're seeing the emails. Okay, Pedro. People that are protected by this law, do they have to be affected by COVID to be able to qualify, or they are saying they don't have to have had COVID, but because of COVID, they have lost their job, their salary has been reduced, their hours have been reduced, and for us, that's not difficult to show. There's lots of layoffs, there's lots of reductions of hours, of salaries, of businesses closing. So they just need to certify that as far as they know, they have done everything that they could do. Another requirement is that you have to make less than $99,000 a year for an individual, or $190,000 for a couple. Lots of people based on that qualify. And that you have tried. Sometimes people, forget to mention that. So Pedro, tell me a little bit about the role that you have at Legal Aid Society, and a little bit about the other services that you guys have. Well, I am one of the lawyers. I'm a part of the civic division. This department is for any kind of civil point, civil. So that's no immigration, no family, no legal. So if we're talking about contracts, housing, money of some kind, we focus on that. Me personally, I have lots of cases of living spaces, selling a house, buying a house, looking at their documents to make sure everything's in order. I represent renters. I represent people that have problems with their mortgage. So we'll talk about different opportunities and options. And all of these services are free. But we also do have lawyers in my team. I mean, I'm bilingual. I have another colleague that's bilingual, and they do different things like IRS cases, or bankruptcy cases, or Social Security. Lots of services and lots of ways to get help. Lots of ways to help our folks. So how can we communicate with you? Where do we call? Where do we send an email? Our general phone number is 414-727-5300. But it is better if you can fill out a form online. We do have one in Spanish. that just came out on the internet not too long ago. And I gave some of those to SOC. Yep, we're going to share that with you guys now. Andrea, you can find that in the private chat. Yep, she put it there. Perfect. And you just fill it out and just explain, please, your legal problem. And then, you know, if we can help, we're happy to help. If you qualify for anything, it's all based on income. So keep that in mind too. If we can't help you, we'll try to refer you to another trusted lawyer. So any other announcement that you wanted to share with us today, Pedro? Another announcement. I just want to remind you guys, it is really important to help each other during these trying times. So I just wanted to tell people, please look for your resources that SOC has shared. There's, you know, UMOS has rent assistance, or Community Advocates also has some rent assistance. There are lots of different resources available to be able to alleviate a little bit all of these consequences from COVID. Thank you so much again, Pedro. It's always great to have you here with us, sharing all of the information. Take care. Thank you. You too. So, you saw it here, folks. Lots of information. So helpful. The most recent. I want to remind you to share our questionnaire, and I'm going to ask Marisol to share that with us. Has this forum been informative for you? What kind of the forum can we change to make better? Let us know by responding to a brief survey that can be found in the comments section. That way we can keep the program going for the residents. And thank you for being with us. Thank you, Marisol, for that reminder. I want to remind you guys, do not miss tomorrow. We're going to have the Director of Education of Hawa from the Hmong community. She'll be with us. And then Friday, don't miss it, we're going to have Judge Pedro Colon, and he's going to be talking about his experience being the first Latino judge elected into office. And, you know, how was his experience? What has he had? What challenges has he had? What has he been able to do? And what he's doing now as a judge. That is Friday, to finish up our month for Hispanic Heritage Month. So don't miss it. So we're going to thank you guys. Thank you for everybody for being with us. And we're going to give the thanks to our partners that have helped us financially to make the mission and the work that we do. And we're going to leave you with a thank you video for that. Hello, SOC followers. How are you? I'm Gabby, Civic Engagement Manager, and I am here to thank all of you guys for being with us in another community forum live with SOC, and also for completing our survey. Always ends up in our comments if you're looking for the link. Also, we want to give the thanks to all of our sponsors. They are Wisconsin Voices, Community Development Block Grants, Neal Philanthropy State Infrastructure Fund, Movement Voter Project, Catholic Campaign for Human Development, Zilber Foundation, City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention, Tides Foundation, Employ Milwaukee, and all of the faithful individuals who have made personal donations. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at another forum.